Oh, yo!
Hey.
There it is, everybody. We don't have our music and everything set up or anything like that. Our own specific music. But, wait, let me... God, my camera's all over the place. There it is.
There you are.
Yeah, we had a lot of bugs to work out, or at least on my end, before before the show started.
Okay, we'll figure this out.
Yeah. But anyways, so mean!
Allegedly.
There you go, see? She says allegedly all the time, and everybody says I'm so mean all the time.
You are so mean.
Yeah. So, a lot of people don't even know, like, how the hell we even know each other. Maybe you want to explain that.
So Gray and I met years ago. Now it's 2017, right?
Yeah,
September
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
There was a case, the Kanika Jenkins case out of Chicago. I was never interested in true crime. Gray was already quite established. And Gray believed it was a tragic accident. And I did not believe that in the least bit. So everybody hated Gray. Oh my God, they hated him so much.
Hold on one second. I guess we're echoing. Let me fix one thing.
We're echoing?
No, I know why too. Hold on.
What did you do to us, Gray?
Now there's this one setting. Okay, now it should be good. Go ahead.
Is it better now?
Yeah. It is better. They're just going to be they're all going to type in echoing until...
Echo.
Hey,
is it better now?
How many more of you guys can type in echoing in a row? Come on, hold on. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Echo. How about now? Wait, I'm just watching the chat.
It's fine now.
Is it better?
Well, I know it is because I know what the setting. It happens on my show all the time.
Oh, see.
So Streamlabs Studio, OBS Studio doesn't save sometimes this one setting for this particular. Man,
okay.
Look at all now. Better. Okay, so anyways, maybe.
So we met through the Kanika Jenkins case in 2017. Everybody hated Gray with a passion. They made him a suspect in the case, and that really aggravated me. So I started watching his channel. Even though I was on the other side, I started watching him, and I'm like, this guy makes a lot of sense, and he doesn't even sound crazy. So one day, to me, Gray was like this huge YouTuber, right? So one day we messaged or something, and I gave him my phone number so I could explain, and I was in the bathtub, and he called me, and I'm like, oh my God, I just talked to Gray Hughes, and I was in the bathtub. So, that's how we became friends. There you go. That's how we became, and so we've known each other for many, many years now.
Well,
we don't agree on everything, but we get along really well.
Well, I always appreciated that time because it was so horrible for me. It was, even though you're on the other side, you would defend me too, right? So I always felt like, wow, that's pretty cool,
Yeah.
Maybe
I always go for the underdog, Gray. I always go for the underdog.
Maybe
they were torturing you.
Maybe by the end you came around to my side.
I did.
Okay.
I did. Sadly, yeah.
Yeah.
Chasing's my spirit animal. Hey, Tibori. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for coming over here. My sound is not very good still.
I think it sounds great on my end.
I do too.
You guys don't hear her sound well? Here, let me turn something.
Do I sound really bad, guys?
Hold on, let me put, maybe if I turn on or say something again now.
How do I sound? Do I sound terrible?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I don't know. I have it on top chat because I'm an idiot. But sounds clear to everybody else? Okay.
Okay. I just turned it on.
Okay, so it sounds good. Maybe it's just one person and I don't know. Do you want to explain what this channel is going to be about, Gray Hughes?
Yeah, we're just going to take a look at cases. It could be current or cold cases, anything really. And we're just going to look at the case from the factual evidence that's out there, or comments made by people that are associated with the case, and then try to formulate reasonable theories and try to really figure out what's going on, instead of aliens from Zeta Minor right off the get-go, right?
It could be aliens, allegedly.
Yeah. Well, it always, there's always a possibility of aliens. You can't ever really rule them out, right?
No, I can't rule them out because, I love aliens.
Yeah.
But in this case that we're going to cover today, Summer Wells, I don't think it was aliens. I'm not there yet with that. I know that a few people might think it could have been aliens, but
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, that's the jumping the shark moment when you finally, there's nothing left. You go with the alien theory.
Sure.
Yeah. So
It
I
could
guess
happen.
what we're going to do in the Summer Wells case is we're just going to go over the case from the beginning, the different press conferences, and then interviews, and see what we think now. I mean, we're going to try to just look back at it as it was happening with a different perspective, listening to it, right? Isn't that, what do you think?
Yep. Because there is a lot you miss. You get so involved in a case so quickly, you're hearing things, but you're also talking to your chat and you're focused on making videos and you're just getting to the next day if there's any news that came out and reading Facebook. So just this morning, preparing for this, I did go back and listen to two of the press conferences, and I made 2 pages of notes, thinking, oh, okay, well, I didn't hear them exactly say that, so that's interesting.
And so
just going from the beginning and saying, okay, let's just act like we're starting at the beginning.
And she's cheating because I didn't do that. I was thinking we would just listen. So, man, she's going to have all these things to fire out. But that's good because then I can respond to them and say, no, come on.
I know, I'm terrible. I had to do it. I had to listen so that I could be prepared. See, I have all my notes. We've got lots of notes here.
Oh, and before we get started, maybe you can update us on your situation there.
Oh, yeah, sure. So I am negative again today. We're still dealing with negative right now. So that's a really good thing. I sneezed.
Hold on, let me scan that in really quick. Hold on.
Well, I did sneeze, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I ignored it, and then my body felt weird because I was probably panicking. So I walked around the house for a while and was like, "Oh my god, I'm definitely positive. I don't know what the hell's going on. I better take another test." But I don't want to run out of tests either. So I waited a couple hours, and then I sneezed again and was like, "Oh Lord God, that's it. It's over." So I went and took it, and it was negative.
Yeah.
And now I feel fine again. I'm like,
yeah. Sometimes people just sneeze. It's weird.
Yeah, it happens. You sneeze. And Scott was feeling great this morning, and now he's absolutely freezing. I had to go bring him sweatpants and more blankets and socks. Alexa is extremely uncomfortable. She's not a happy camper at the moment. And Jace is just as happy as Jace can be. He's up there. He has a million snacks, and he's just great. So
it's weird. I hadn't even thought of it, but I think you just represent exactly the Amazon customer that I always say, wow, imagine if you had a family member that if you said their name would activate the Alexa device every single time, right?
That's why we can't have it. And I really wanted it. I wanted to be able to yell out and make it do things. And I'm like, we can't do that because our kid's name is Alexa.
Oh, yeah. I hated that thing. I mean, it was kind of neat, but every time you're just sort of talking and it'll say, well, hey, it's like responding to you. I don't want this thing listening to me. If I want you to, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either. So we never did get it.
Yeah.
You can see the chat from where you are, right, Craig?
Yeah, I can see it over here.
Okay, because I'm looking at it on my phone. Hey, everybody.
Got 355. That's pretty good for
it's not bad.
A maiden
our
voyage.
little first show here.
Yeah, hit that. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, because we're gonna, we'll probably cover this case until we get through all of the factual stuff that we want to go over, I guess, that we know about.
Yeah.
And then on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we just get started on the first interview? It's pretty bad audio, you guys, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. And don't type in, I can't hear it. Oh, it just doesn't. Oh, hey, because I'm telling you right now, it's not the greatest audio. Okay, now watch.
Keep in mind, they're outside.
Yeah.
They're outside up on that hill where the highway road there is, whatever. Yeah. And then another one, they got trees behind them. The audio is not great, but it is what it is. We're gonna figure it out. Just listen really close, put your earbuds in, go get some coffee, and just calm down. Okay?
Here it comes. All right, let me switch over to our other screen where we're little people. But
Man, you are good at this, Gray. I'm just on a damn porch spouting craziness. Go ahead.
Here we go.
A statewide Amber Alert. She was last seen outside of her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road, which is located in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County. A family member reported her missing to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at approximately 6:30 Tuesday evening. At the time she went missing, Summer was reportedly wearing a gray pants and a pink shirt. She is believed to be barefoot. We do want to encourage the public, especially residents living in the area of Ben Hill Road, to check any trail cameras or security cameras that they might have that could have captured Summer on video or in photographs. We also encourage residents to check any crawl spaces, outbuildings, or sheds that would make for good hiding places. As we mentioned, the search is ongoing. There are a number of agencies involved. I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson to talk more about the search and the conditions that authorities are up against. Sheriff?
Thank you. It's been a very intense 21 hours.
By the way, you can have me pause it whenever you want, if you want to say something as it's going. I mean, if it's something like, oh,
Sure.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I already have a note. Okay.
Okay,
Great.
go ahead.
So, Leslie says she was last seen outside of her home. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that could be just her making an assumption she was seen outside of her home, but as we get deeper into this, it's going to connect back a little bit. Our assumption has always been, as we're looking into this, she was last seen walking down into the basement, right?
Right.
Leslie says she was last seen outside of her home. So that was key to me this morning, because this was the first press conference. And I may have heard that way back in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then when I heard the parents and everybody talking, no, she was last seen going into the basement. So how could she have been seen outside of her home? Leslie's going to talk a little bit more about that, though, in a second.
I thought maybe when I heard that they were referring to, that's where, because Summer last saw her outside, but saw her, well, I guess she saw, not Summer,
You mean
Candace saw her outside after they were doing it, but I guess she did see her go inside.
She did.
So then it's weird that, I guess that's the last time. Yeah, that's weird. It's just a strange.
It is weird. That's why I wrote it down.
information.
And it gets weirder. You'll see in a sec.
A lot of searching, a lot of investigation by 19 different agencies. Last night, we had approximately 60 to 80 people searching in the woods, with a number of law enforcement officers doing the investigation also. Today, we've had over 100 people in the woods searching throughout the whole region. We also have agents with the TBI and the FBI assisting my office. We jointly investigating this whole circumstance. Our main goal is to find Summer and find her safe. We have plenty of help. We don't need any assistance from the local people. We have the professional people out searching, and we just appreciate everybody, their contributions. It's been a tremendous outpour from the community with the water, the food, and the snacks. It's just overwhelming, and it's a very intense investigation. I know the public needs to know things, but it's ongoing, and we will release things as we can when we can. Our main goal right now is to find Summer.
We'll take a couple of questions, but keep in mind we can't discuss specifics of the investigation. Can you talk about the area back here?
Absolutely. It's very dense. The terrain is tremendously hard. We have virtually no cell phone service. The radio system we use, which is not that good, we have very little radio communication. We do have several command posts setting up, but it's what makes it so hard is the communication between the boots on the ground searching the woods and the different agencies and officers, and it's very hard to communicate. And we're not like, we're in these small towns or in towns where you got a lot of cell service. And just for instance, when we get texts from media, you may text and we may get it an hour later and we have no way to reply to it. And the same way with the officers. And the ECOM Central Dispatch has done an excellent job. TPI has their command post that should arrive soon. And we're going to continue on until we find Summer and put this case to rest.
Do you believe there was foul play involved, and is there any history with this family?
The family are cooperating, and it's really too early to tell. We're still basically just gathering information, and we're in the search mode right now.
Around 11 this morning, it's switched from missing child alerts to Amber Alert. What goes into the decision of putting that Amber Alert out and clarified the difference?
Sure. After the initial search and as we developed more information as part of the investigation, our team made the decision to elevate the alert to an amber.
And what's the difference between those two alerts?
An endangered child alert is a mid-level alert where a child could potentially be in danger. An amber alert is, we issue those when we believe a child is in imminent danger of bodily harm or death, and it's the most severe alert.
Since it appeared to be that she walked away from her home, why was it upgraded to an amber alert?
Now, pause, Gray.
Okay.
Well, the bottom line is we don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
They asked, so it appears she walked away from her home. Why would you issue an amber alert? So I did want to address one comment in the chat. Alberta, I think, says that Candace said she went out to her swing. No, Candace has never stated those words. I think that's what we're really, really trying to focus on this channel, because I know it can be difficult in the middle of a live when it's just you. But we're going to just focus on the people involved, exactly what has been said. We're not going to make up what people have said. We're not going to stretch the truth.
Yeah.
We're going to listen to exactly what they've said. So they just asked her, it appears she just walked away from her home. Why did you issue an amber alert? Because typically amber alerts are for abductions.
Well, you need a vehicle too. You also, a lot of times, you need an amber alert. It's usually been you need a vehicle, then you send out an amber alert, and then people can look for that vehicle. In this case, it's a little odd. It's almost like they're doing it because they don't really have another mechanism, so they're just throwing out an amber alert, right? I don't know if there's another alert, right? There isn't really
not that will populate as quick and as fast as an amber. No.
Yeah.
Where she is at this time. Again, there was the initial search. We acted, and the sheriff's office acted on the information available at the time. And as we learned more in the first several hours into today, it led us to issue an amber alert.
That's interesting.
Well, when the amber alert was issued, you said there was new information that led you to believe that Summer might be in more danger. Can you expand on that a little?
What? Wait, you have a thought there?
Can you hear him? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's saying, so you got new information. You have new information that led you to issue an amber alert, and she's going like this. And he said, well, can you explain that? And she's about to tell him no, she's not going to tell them anything
Well, so that's interesting because an amber alert is, like I said, there's a vehicle.
They got some new information.
Yeah.
When the amber alert was issued, you said there was new information that led you to believe that Summer might be in more danger. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I can't. That's part of the investigation.
Sheriff Paulson mentioned earlier that he's asking the community folks that you have enough resources here. What's your message to the community that they feel like they want to help in some
That is kind of
How
interesting.
can they help in some?
What do you think that would be? That is kind of interesting. Like, what would that be?
Yeah, that is really interesting. So this is 21 hours after the search began. Initially, they just put out an endangered child alert. That night at midnight, right before, this is happening, this is the next day, they issue an amber alert. Usually, like Gray said, you need a vehicle, a description of a person, some credible information on a child being abducted, and the reporter's asking them, so you're saying based on new information that you got, you decided to increase this up to an amber alert? And she says, yes. And he says, can you tell us more about that? And she says, no, it's part of the investigation.
Well,
so did that lead them? Maybe Don saying, you know, over and over, should never leave because he said that's what he's told them from the beginning and she's been abducted.
Yeah.
Did that lead them? We don't really know what because they've never disclosed that yet.
But normally when you, like I was saying, when you do an Amber Alert, if they got other information right here that was related to a vehicle, they would have said it, right? Because you want people to go out and
They would
find
have said it then.
So it was some other thing that was mentioned as part of the investigation that they feel like she was, well, it's weird because in this one they're saying it, they almost feel like she was abducted, but they just aren't going to, they don't know the vehicle type. But then later they say, many times, right, they say stuff like, we don't believe she was abducted.
And we want to be really, really crystal clear right now. At this point, they know nothing of a red truck.
Right.
Right? Because everybody's mind's already going to the red truck. They know nothing. The red truck comes out much, much later.
Right.
So at this point, this is 21 hours in. They issued an endangered child. They got new information that night, and then they issued an Amber Alert. So that's exactly where we are.
Okay, one other thing. I saw somebody say, hey, I can't rewind. I can't. Look, we're not going to have rewind on here. I don't have it on my channel. And,
and I just learned how to take it off mine.
Yeah, because the problem with rewind is somebody will, right now, will say something like, oh, wow, Kanika. And they'll start talking about Kanika in the comments because we talked about that 20 minutes ago, okay? We just
I get caught in that a lot. I'm like paying attention to what somebody's saying, and they're 20 minutes behind. I'm like, wait, what? Where are you? You're behind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's just kind of you're either on time or watch from where we're at to the end, and then go back and watch the other part later. Okay.
So mean, allegedly, exactly, Heather.
So mean. See? There you go.
Sorry. It'll just keep the chat on track. It's much easier, guys.
Yeah.
If they see something or know something, they need to tell somebody. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't want to get involved. They want to reply to us or respond anonymously. That's fine. As long as we find Summer, that's the main thing right now. And we're talking about the Amber Alert. When they raise that up another level, that helps more people paying more attention. You get more clues, you get more calls. And then everybody can call that 1-800-TBI-FIND. It all goes into a database, which helps us in an area where we don't have a lot of communication anyway. So TBI helps us with that.
And we know the FBI was called in fairly early. Can you kind of explain why that decision was made?
Well, we have an excellent relationship working together. And just like if this case stems outside of Hawkins County, then you have the TBI to help with that. But if it expands on out past the state of Tennessee, then you got the FBI. So we're all on the same page, and we just keep on going. We're just working together as a team. All have the same goal. Let's find Summer.
One more question.
Can you expand on maybe just the area where you guys are searching? Maybe if people see something in a certain area, they should be on the heightened alert if they're in a certain area or part of town.
Sure. Can you expand on that?
Well, the train and stuff is like you see here. This is what the people are searching in. But if they seen something yesterday evening or afternoon that we need to know, that's when they need to make the call or come by the command post.
Any kind of landmarks and sort of an area that you're searching to?
Just around Ben Hill Road in that area. That's the main, because she's 5 years old and she left the house, and evidently she got a little farther than they expected.
Let's go hear that again.
That's the main, because she's 5 years old and she left the house, and evidently.
Well, they think she left the house because she's not there, so we don't know if she left. But that's interesting because in that scenario, they're saying that she left the house, not that she was taken from the house.
Exactly, and got a little further than they expected.
Let me go back to that.
Made me just sit back and pause today. I said, okay, wait.
So here's the thing. Look at this picture, just as a random thing. What if she did leave the area? Look at if she got past this spot, and look at this, man. That is, that is the most dense.
It is insane.
And it's crazy. And I was just going to say, somebody last night made me think about it. I was telling Chasing Truth earlier. We covered a case on my channel called, it was regarding Allison Watterson, and she was an adult, and she went missing in a really dense terrain like this.
Mhm.
And man, there was abductions and all. You know, I still think there's something nefarious going on with it. But they looked for her for weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months and months, all over. They didn't find her. Then they found her body underneath this weird, like a tree inside of blackberry bushes, and they just found skull and fragments of her. But it was so close to where she went missing from.
Right.
I mean, it was literally like less than a quarter mile, and they had these dogs out there. They were doing all this stuff. How come they didn't find her? Right?
Exactly.
So that's interesting. Maybe.
And in these terrains, I mean, this is based on what the sheriff just said. You know, maybe this is just their initial thought. We're only 21 hours in. Leslie's also said now that they believe that she was last seen outside of her home. He's now saying she's 5. She left her home and she got further than they expected.
Is that Scott right there? I can't tell. It's so.
Hey, Bob. Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't throw in her randomly disappearing as the highest chance, but I think it's a little higher than I was thinking, because I really hadn't thought about it too deeply. And then when that call last night made me think, yeah, wow. Why the dogs didn't find that girl. They didn't, and she's an adult, much bigger body, too. So imagine. You know,
Right.
they say she would never walk off the property, but maybe she did. Maybe she chased a dog and then just sort of wandered off continually. I mean, who knows? That's not as likely.
She got turned around or something. We don't know. But when he said that,
Yeah.
you know, they're in the moment there. They're just finishing talking to all the adults on the scene, looking around the property, getting their stories. And I know later we'll hear the dad say, well, she just didn't walk off. He could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, he could be wrong.
But they must have been
Especially
told.
if their dogs tracked her to the road. Remember, we're going to get to that at some point too, that their dogs tracked her to that road. So.
Yeah, and then it's interesting because he says that, you know, he does say that she left the house. So were they told that by the, you know, Candace or Dawn early? She must have left the house, or he could just be saying that and not wording it correctly too. So that's one of the things that always kind of sucks, is there's that one element of just human error in the way they say something. Right?
Well, I made that. I used reasoning to say that Leslie just said that.
Right. Yeah.
Now, did they both just say that?
Yeah. So
I don't
guess
know.
that's something similar. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird if they both made a mistake.
She got a little farther than they expected.
Do you have any idea how much territory your volunteers and searchers are covering?
A lot. We have so many out there that they've broadened the scope. Plus, we've been able to utilize aircraft. THP's been wonderful with their helicopter and the medical helicopters with THP's FLIR at night. They've been flying today, and it's just outstanding how the community's come to help us, plus all the different resource agencies and the rescue squads and EMSs and all the law enforcement. And we just hope that we have a great result when we find them summer.
Have you gotten any news?
At this time, we're following up on any and all leads. Again, thank you for being here. We encourage the public to call in any credible information to 1-800-TVI-FIND, and we continue to hold out hope for the best possible outcome. Thank you.
All right. Well,
Okay, so that's the end of this one.
Yep.
We have another one set up to go from the 17th.
Yeah. Ready? Want to start it?
Yep.
All right. Here we go.
A lot of questions about the search area and the process. For that reason, Sheriff Lawson has arranged for Captain Tim Coop to elaborate on those efforts. He's with the Churchill Rescue Squad and is serving as the incident commander of ground search operations. Tim?
A lot better audio.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah, this one was good.
As Leslie
Oh, and just to let you guys know that there might be a moment where Chasing Truth has to get up and
Like right now.
yeah, go do something, or I
I'm
might
going to
need-
mute myself because my family's groceries came for their lunch, so I'm going to feed them. I've already watched this. I already have notes. I'll be right back.
and I might have an apple or something while it's playing. What do you guys think of that? Okay, here we go.
has elaborated. I wish we could have better news than we do now. From notification of Miss Summer going missing, we have implemented several methods of search and rescue, with most of these that we continue to do. We've utilized ground crews of 80 to 100 people of trained professionals, aerial aviation search, both visual and FLIR, medical THB and TBI assisting us with fixed wing, multiple drones, and 4 different canine units. The day that she went missing, we searched from the time of notification until dark. We searched all day yesterday, resumed this morning, continue on throughout the rest of our operational period, utilizing multiple ground crews, drones, fixed wing, and also helicopter with canines on standby. Some of the issues we're encountering with this search is the steep and dangerous terrain. With this steep and dangerous terrain, we're also experiencing, as you see behind us, very dense canopy coverage, including very dense ground cover, causing search efforts to become very difficult, taking extra time to cover these areas adequately, exhausting teams a lot quicker, in turn causing longer for these grounds to be covered, allowing those teams for recovery and rehab. We have currently covered at this time at 1 mile from the residents last seen by ground and dog. Hopefully by the end of the day we will have covered 2 ground miles, assisting with THP, expanding theirs to a minimum of 4 miles aerial aviation searching. As she stated, residents of this area, everybody continues to ask, well, if she wandered off, why did somebody not see her? This part of the community, the residents are very spread out. Some being from one hilltop to the other hilltop, or at the start of a road, and you may go a mile back before you ever get to another residence. So making that very difficult for residents just to be able to be at home, outside working or something, and notice her leaving that area. As we continue, we will continually assist Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, TBI, and FBI with this search as long as they deem necessary. And as Leslie stated, at this time we are not asking for any public and or volunteers to assist in the search. A lot of people wonder why. Due to the extreme terrain, the nature of this, trying to locate her, trained professionals is what we need at this time to make sure that these residents don't become endangered and turn around and expand this issue with having to search for somebody else. Thank you.
As we've stated before, the circumstances surrounding Summer's disappearance remain unclear. So if we do develop information that she was taken and we develop a suspect and a vehicle description, of course we will share that with the public immediately. At this time, that's just not the case. So we'll take a couple of questions, and I'll offer Sheriff Lawson an opportunity to say anything if he wants to.
What time was she last seen, and who reported her missing in the family?
Sheriff?
Her parents reported her missing. It was right around 6.
Endangered and turn around and expand this issue with having to search for somebody else. Thank you.
As we've stated before, the circumstances surrounding Summer's disappearance remain unclear. So if we do develop information that she was taken and we develop a suspect and a vehicle description, of course we will share that with the public immediately. At this time, that's just not the case. So we'll take a couple of questions, and I'll offer Sheriff Lawson an opportunity to say anything if he wants to.
What time was she?
Yeah, so it was interesting right there where she said that they don't have any information that she was abducted or a vehicle, yet they still created an Amber Alert, which is usually meant for an abducted child, right?
Last seen, and who reported her missing in the family?
Sheriff?
Her parents reported her missing. It was right around 6:30 p.m.
But when was she, did they say when she was last seen? I know that she was reported missing around that time, but was she last seen earlier in the afternoon or in the day even?
That time is varied because they were searching for their child themselves.
I have a question.
Hold on, let me go back to that.
It was right around 6:30 p.m.
But when was she, did they say when she was last seen? I know that she was reported missing around that time, but was she last seen earlier in the afternoon or in the day even?
That time is varied because they were searching for their child themselves.
Why would that vary? Why would it vary what was the last time she was seen because they were searching for themselves? Why would it vary? You know, oh, what you saw her during the search and then we're not talking about that? Come on. So there's, you know, the only time that it should be is, well, here's the thing. We don't know. None of us really know what time Summer apparently went back inside the house after gardening. You know, there's no specific time. And you know how she says 3 to 5 minutes? That's what Candace says often. 3 to 5 minutes. It was just 3 to 5 minutes after I was helping Granny with the knee brace. But I think it's more. That number could be much larger than that, right? Definitely possible. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in this part here. You know.
I have a question for Captain Scoop. Just wanted to see, are you asking for assistance from other agencies? I know yesterday you all mentioned 19 agencies helping out with the quick turnover in personnel. It sounds like that are searching. Are you all?
I couldn't even say interesting. It wouldn't come out of my mouth. It was weird.
For other agencies in surrounding counties to help, and what is the hours that you all are searching?
Yes, so hours of operation this time are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have, like Leslie stated yesterday, we have utilized at this time 19 different agencies throughout the state of Tennessee. We also have multiple agencies outside of our jurisdiction in burning states, and also expanding to Middle Tennessee to having these teams on standby.
You talked about getting tips. Can you give me an idea of the magnitude of tips that you've gotten so far, and with the amount of time that's passed, is there concern, that it's less likely to find the longer it goes?
Of course, the longer this goes, the more concerned we get. At this stage, we've received nearly 50 leads. None have panned out so far.
50?
Yes, approximately 50 at this point.
Who does Summer live with, and is there any history with this family with law enforcement or anything that you're aware of?
Sheriff.
Summer lived with her parents and 3 siblings.
Are these her biological parents, mother and father?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any history of your office?
1 second.
Oh,
Sorry.
you see that? A red pickup truck. That's it.
Is there any history of your office going to their home or anyone in the home? Is there any criminal history with family members?
My father has a criminal history.
Can you elaborate on that?
I don't have it with me.
Is any of the family persons of interest?
Everybody's a person of interest till we find Summer. The most important thing is find Summer. That's what it's all about. That's why we're doing the ground searches, the aerial searches, and finding her is first and foremost.
Are you concerned that this could be an abduction at this point after so much time has passed?
Everything's on the table. I mean, we're looking at everything, crossing every T, dotting every I, and turning every stone. That's why we have 2 different operations. Captain's operation is search and rescue. Law enforcement operation is to look into this incident and find Summer.
Is the father's criminal record relevant in this investigation?
No, sir.
I've also heard
So that was kind of a big moment right there. Is the father's criminal history irrelevant? And he said, no, sir. Like, that was one of the few times he answered with conviction, right? He looks, I think you're muted. Do you want to talk or?
I'm muted because I was chewing. I'm an idiot.
Well, keep chewing. Keep chewing.
Sorry. Yeah, that was one of the first times he answered with a definitive answer.
Right.
No, it's not irrelevant.
Yeah, like the other question. Does she have a history of walking away and who she, or something? And he goes, she lived with her 2 parents and 3 siblings, and that was it. It's like it wasn't even related to what was asked, but this one, boom. Right?
Yeah. No, it is not irrelevant.
there's been speculation of the siblings in the household. Just wasn't sure if you're able to elaborate on the siblings at all.
And I actually misheard that the first time he said it back in the day. I thought he was saying, "Oh, it's irrelevant." And I said, "Well, how would he know that?" Okay,
right.
but see, it was completely the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I have three others besides Summer.
Older, younger, brothers,
Older.
sisters?
Older.
Okay. One more question, guys. Anybody have another question? Okay.
I had a question. We've heard about issues with communications between search teams regarding lack of cell coverage as well as the radios. Can you elaborate on that? What those issues have been and how they've impacted the search?
Well, Captain, he can relate to that as far as law enforcement. We can't hardly communicate at all on our radios, and cell phones are out of the question, but thanks to AT&T and Verizon, he can tell you about that. They've been a big help to us. Go ahead.
Elaborate on that real quick. AT&T and Verizon both have bought cell phone service boosters to our command post to help try to utilize cell phone coverage, which is still very spotty for most of the area. Radio communication between ground crews and also aerial aviation has been very difficult due to the state that our radio system's in at this time. For ground crew operations, we were having to utilize anywhere from 4 to 6 different radio channels to make sure we have the coverage to where everybody's accounted for.
Real quick, when you said that the search area you covered was about a mile, did you mean a square mile or a radius around the residence?
That is going to be a radius from around the residence from the last point of her household.
Thanks everybody for being here. Just to clarify, ground search efforts end around 8 o'clock. However, if we do receive any phone calls giving us a credible lead, we do follow up on those leads throughout the night. Thanks for being here. Any updates will be posted on our Twitter feed, and we'll update you again as soon as we have something available.
All right. So people were asking, well, the question was confusing. So first it was asked, does anybody in the family have a criminal history? The sheriff answered, yes, the father has a criminal history. Then somebody else asked, well, is that criminal history irrelevant? And he said, no, it is not irrelevant.
Right.
It's not irrelevant.
No,
So I don't think he was confused in the least bit. I think he heard exactly what was being asked of him, and he answered, it is not irrelevant.
Right. And I remember when I
And
first
how
heard
does that
it.
mean?
Yeah.
You know.
But when I first heard it, my ear just heard, when I just heard it really quick, was, is it relevant? And he said, no. And then I was like, what do you mean it's not relevant? How would you know if it, And
Right.
so the thing is, I think I guess it's technically possible he heard it that way, but it seems like he definitely heard it. Is it irrelevant? And he said no.
Well, the way that he responds, I feel like his demeanor in his response, he's saying, no, it's not irrelevant.
But what's weird is his
Not
criminal,
kind of like,
but his criminal history kind of is irrelevant, though, a little bit. I mean, his actual criminal history.
It is. Well, we don't know by that point who else reached out, what else Sir Sheriff there knows
Right.
at this point. We don't really know.
Right. So maybe some of that other information had already been
Had come out by then.
Yeah, to
them.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly would have hoped that that information went to them prior to going to Facebook or wherever else it went.
Yeah. So, do you want to go on to this one then, or do you have more to say about that one? What were your notes on that?
I don't have anything else to say about that one just yet.
Just yet. Okay.
Yeah, I'm putting it all together in my head here.
Let us know what you and your family are experiencing at this time.
We really appreciate that outpouring of love, and never seen so many good people in one place. And we just really appreciate everybody trying to help that they have, law enforcement and all these volunteers that are here. Never seen anything like this in my entire life.
Can you guys hear that pretty well? I mean, it's just going to be, this is what it sounds like.
Just pray that God, in His awesome power, for His name's sake, will please that Summer be okay. And please come.
Nobody said it was Rocky Brown. We're talking about the criminal history that he had prior. Doesn't have anything to do with sexual conduct or anything. It has nothing to do with that at all that's out there. Now, maybe they have something else. So that's why it would be irrelevant if it didn't have anything to do with, like, abduction or, I mean, what do you think? That's why.
Yeah, if it had nothing to do with children, if it had nothing to
Yeah.
do with kidnapping, rape, attempted murder, serious domestic violence, assault, something. His criminal history, we've gone over it. I have a video about it. We do know about October of 2020, and we'll get there at some point.
Yeah. But see, now you get this people like T.O. Girl here saying, history of sexual abuse should never be irrelevant. Oh, I'm so high moral. Yeah, see, those are the kind of comments that just drive me nuts. We all agree with that sentence that you just said. There's just no actual criminal history of that. Do you understand the difference there? Yeah.
I think we need to be extremely clear. We're going from the beginning, step by step by step. At this point, his stepsisters have not done interviews.
Yep.
At this point, we know nothing of that. We know nothing of that. Today, we know everything about this man's past, but that's not where we're starting. We're not starting at today. We're starting at the beginning. Additionally, he has absolutely no convictions, arrests, or charges on his criminal history regarding sexual deviancy, behavior, or anything of the kind. Nobody supports that over here.
Yeah.
Period.
I don't know how people's brains just don't work very well sometimes. So let me start.
That's another thing. We're just not going to tolerate nonsense over here either. We're trying to keep this to the facts and what we know as we're going. We're trying to look at this with a whole new open mind. Did we miss something? Are we missing anything? Will the theory be different? You know, we're not professionals. We're just people on YouTube. So if that's not what you're looking for and you want to sit here and discuss whatever Don did with his stepsisters, please do it on another channel. It's not going to happen here. When we get there, we'll get there.
Right. All right, here we go. See, that's why we get along. We're very similar like that. Well, we get along regardless, but that's just one of the things. It's like, yeah, all right. Moral superiority police don't work in my environment. Here we go.
You've been feeling the last few days in the search for Summer. Can you just, let us know what you and your family are experiencing at this time?
We really appreciate that outpouring of love, and we've never seen so many good people in one place. We just really appreciate everybody trying to help that they have, law enforcement and all these volunteers that are here. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Just pray that God, in His awesome power, for His name's sake, will please let Summer be okay, and please come home.
I can't imagine how you've been feeling these past couple days.
Yeah, it's been rough, but we we believe in the resurrection. Never seen so many Christians in one place in my life. Like I say, that's pretty awesome to see that. And I just hope God in His mercies.
Let me ask you something. So when I first watched this a long time ago, I thought his demeanor sort of bugged me a little bit. But I don't know if I
remember.
Yeah. I mean, just a little bit. It sort of looks like he's kind of. I don't know. Looks like right there, it almost like he's picturing something. Although it's a freeze frame, but it seems like he's. I don't know. What did you feel when you watch him? Just sort of a sad kid, or what?
I really focused more on Dawn, and I probably shouldn't have. So maybe we need to watch this more than once and just focus on Dawn's words and then focus on the kid. But one huge red flag that people had was when he just said the thing about the resurrection. Can you just rewind about 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been rough, but we we believe in the resurrection. Never seen so many Christians in one place in my life. Like I say, that's pretty awesome to see that. And I just hope God in His mercies will deliver someone home to us.
Pretty unlikely for something of her to do to walk off like that.
Yeah, she wouldn't do that. We even had one of our neighbors say they pulled up in the driveway and she ran to the door. So we warn her all the time. There's bears and other things that we try to warn our kids about all these things all the time.
And can you tell us a little bit, what Summer was doing that afternoon or that evening?
She was planting flowers with her mom.
Let me see what he was saying again about bears and things.
Other things that, we try to warn our kids about all these things all the time.
And can can you tell us a little bit, what Summer was doing that afternoon or that evening?
She was planting flowers with her mother and her grandmother, and she wanted to go into the house. So my wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house, and the boys were on the internet, of course, and she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys. So when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?" She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there, and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since.
And
Wow,
so
so he went out the
then
basement.
the boys,
21.
just when she walked in the house,
Yeah,
what
let,
about
me, let me go back.
Pause.
Went out the basement door, huh? There we go.
Dawn says
She went out the basement door.
the door's unlocked. Okay.
Hmm.
So, a lot of people, I see that in my comments a lot. Didn't Dawn say the door was unlocked? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Dawn said somewhere the door was unlocked, but we need to start at the beginning again.
And there it is.
So there it is, right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Right there on 6/18, 3 days after she went missing. It says she went out the basement door. It was unlocked. That's where TBI is getting the information that she wandered away from her property. Right there.
Yeah, so that makes it interesting that she went out. I mean, yeah. Still opens the door
Well,
for...
we understand that Dawn wasn't there. We understand that Dawn wasn't there. Dawn also understands that he wasn't there. He says he's at work, so he's going by what Candace told him. So on 6/18, his understanding of this whole situation is that door was unlocked. So later, we know that Chris from the interview room speaks to Candace. And at that point, this is 5-6 weeks later, she says, I don't know if it was unlocked. So we'll get there eventually, but it's very interesting right now that he's saying that door was unlocked.
Yeah, I'm just going to rewind it a little bit here.
They pulled up in the driveway and she ran to the door. So we warn her all the time. There's bears and other things that we try to warn our kids about all these things all the time.
And can you tell us a little bit, what Summer was doing that afternoon or that evening?
She was planting flowers with her mother and her grandmother, and she wanted to go into the house. So my wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house, and the boys were on the internet, of course, and she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys. So when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?" She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there, and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since.
And so then the boys, just when she walked in the house, what about time was that?
I'm not sure. 5:36. I'm not sure.
Not knowing what happened, do you have any kind of a gut feeling about it? Do you have any kind of instinct feeling about it?
I wished I did. Some bad person grabbed her, but we have no idea that the FBI and the police have covered every single base, everything that anybody can think of, they've covered.
Wait a minute. So if he's the guy, he called himself a bad person. Wow, we got to use the statement analysis on that. Boy, wouldn't he have said something positive about the person? I'm just joking.
What would you say to people, as you're searching, what are you asking from other people? I know there's so many prayers coming out right now. Is there anything else you want to ask of the community and the public?
I just want to thank everybody for the outpouring of love. That's all.
Is there anything that you'd like to add that maybe we didn't ask you, or?
Not that I can think of, sir.
Have they told you about what they might be trying to do today specifically? Or?
They're still searching. They're doing everything they can. They're doing every single thing they can. We've tried to, we try to go to them with other leads and stuff, and they're like, we've already checked all that out. The sex offenders, they've checked all them. Anything that we can cover, they've already covered almost probably every base that they can. We're trying to beat our brains out.
Yeah, he did say anything we... How about, you missed that part, right? Come on, look at That would have been in the statement analysis. He almost said.
I missed nothing.
That
we are not discussing that statement analysis person.
I'm not
We're going to terminate our channel right now.
No, I wasn't talking about him. I was saying that he said we right there.
No.
He almost was going to fill in.
You know what he did say?
Yeah.
But I don't know that you caught.
Yeah, what's that?
That we go to them with leads on the sex offender people, and they've checked all of that out.
Yeah, they checked them all out.
However, that's on 6/18. Much later, when he interviews again, he says, I didn't even know all these people lived around us.
I wonder why
I had no idea that all these people were here. Oh.
Yeah.
See, I told you, I'm coming at this from a whole new perspective. Did I miss anything? I'm not feeling empathy. I'm just listening to the words.
And now when I watch this guy, the kid here, you know, the sun's in his face, you know, squinting, kind of looking down. I don't know if I can really get anything out of that now that I watch it again. Appears like his arm might even be around the dad. I can't tell, but
That covered everything that we can think of already.
Are they asking anything of you other than just people that you might suspect, or you know, situations you might suspect?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm at work all the time. You know, and, you know, Candace was on one side of the house when she got gone. That, you know, not even 50, 60 feet away. You know, we know she wouldn't leave the property. There's no way she would do that.
Have you ever seen anyone in the neighborhood that doesn't belong?
Well, there are, you know, people that come through there looking for drugs in the area, you know, and that's probably with any place, you know, but no. They've checked all them things out too. They've got a hold of everybody. They've tracked everybody down that they possibly can. I mean, they've covered all the bases that they can.
Are you all from this area?
I'm originally from Utah, but I come out here to help my mother, and I've been here on and off for the past 25 years or 30 years or 40, I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I wonder if it just kept playing there, if there was more.
That's weird.
I mean, they don't, that's just all there was on the clip.
Okay.
But
all right, let's just see the chat for a sec. I know there's a bunch of people, so. Well, I'm just reading. Well, maybe before all this happened, he didn't know. Maybe they meant that. I don't know. I do know that later. And what I'm going to do, because notes help me, you guys know I love notes, is I'm going to put this all together on what Gray and I have listened to and just make a little presentation video out of it, right? That'll go up on the channel, just with the facts of what we heard, what was said, so that we can refer back to that as we're going forward. Because the way I'm remembering things is okay, but I thought I heard him say, you know, we had no idea about any of this, and now we've been told about this. I don't know.
He might have said something later.
Remembering it wrong.
He might have said something later, like, I didn't realize there was that many. Because,
Maybe.
man, have you ever seen that? Somebody sent me an XML file that you post on, you can put into Google Earth, and it's ludicrous.
I have that. Yeah, there's so many around them. It's insane.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Pretty crazy.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
He also, you know, it's interesting how similar the story still is. How
it's very, very similar.
They were out there outside. She wanted to go inside, and it sounds like Candace, he's saying, was on the other side of the house, where, you know, that's just him being aware of the conversation. Because when Candace went back in to check, she likely had already gone out the door, according to the story that Candace told, right?
Right.
So what that means, she was completely on the other side helping Grandma, and near the entrance to the home, not near the back of the basement door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there you go. So at least, you know, you got to admit that the story hasn't changed. They just added details to it. And for some reason, adding details means, look at the story has changed. Well, no, it just means that they added stuff because they've been asked so many damn questions about every single element. You want to watch this one, or?
Yeah, let's try and watch one more, and then we will
Okay.
summarize and see if the chat has anything to say.
Okay.
Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, followed by Captain Tim Coop with the Churchill Rescue Squad.
What date
Summer
is this?
is still missing.
Now this is the 21st, 3 days later.
21st, okay.
Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, followed by Captain Tim Coop with the Churchill Rescue Squad. Summer is still missing, and we are more concerned than ever and desperate to find her. TBI agents continue to work with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and the FBI in an effort to determine what happened to Summer. We are utilizing all available resources, to include the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team. We want to reiterate that the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear, which is why we've been exploring all possibilities. Agents and detectives have followed up on a number of leads, to include residential surveillance video and photos from around the area of Summer's home. Drivers seen in the area at the time of her disappearance have been identified and interviewed. While we've not ruled out an abduction, we simply do not have any evidence at this point to confirm that's what occurred. For that reason, the ground search for Summer continues. It's possible that she wandered off and is lost and afraid. Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is going to talk more about what we need from property owners at this point. Sheriff?
Thank you. First of all,
I mean, what I get from that part is there's no evidence of abduction, so that's either abduction or a family. A family member could have taken her, right? And and they're actually still doing ground searches. So at this point, you kind of realize that they're not really on to,
anything.
Yeah, anything, right? I mean, they might be interested in Dawn or some other person, but they're actually continuing searching because they have no evidence that she was abducted. So it's either that she wandered off or something happened on the property and she was taken away.
Right. They're just trying to figure out what in the world is happening here. Now, at this point, they've got the card team in there, which I remember this happening and people being excited. Like, okay, they brought the card team in and now we're really going to be able to find her.
Let's see.
Here we are 2 months later.
Right. So that's what I think Marmite was just saying up there. But like I was saying before, they start off with his general answers to questions, Candace and Dawn. And then over time, they added detail to it.
Right.
So it's not like they're not changing any stories. They're just getting really a lot more detail. And there's still exactly the same flow of the story, though. So
yeah, I agree with that.
let everyone know that what a big asset that Mount Carmel Baptist Church has been to us. They've opened their doors, their church, their fellowship hall, their land. As y'all see, this is a very remote area, and we would be in desperate trouble if we didn't have that place to set up our command post. With that said, we use every available resource that we have, and today I want to use you all. I want the word to get out to all the residents in the Upper Beech Creek community, Hawkins County and Sullivan County. We need the residents to go back today, tonight, tomorrow, as soon as possible, and go back and check their entire property, any outbuildings, any barns, any place a child could hide. We desperately need you to do that for us. It's easier for you to check your own property than it is to send officers there. We have not stopped. As Captain will tell you, we've been 24/7 for 6 days now. So we desperately need help from the community now searching their own property. Any question? Okay, Captain.
Thank you, Sheriff. As both of them have stated, we will continue to search for Summer Wells until we locate Summer Wells. As of June 21st, 2021, search and rescue efforts for missing 5-year-old Summer Wells will continue throughout the day and also the night. At this point, we have utilized 72 agencies from Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina assisting in these search efforts. Numerous specialized search and rescue groups and canine teams have been represented from these multiple different agencies. To date, we have estimated approximately 2,400 acres have been searched since Tuesday night when she was reported missing. The rugged mountainous terrain continues to cause problems and slow the search operations at times. The search will continue Tuesday morning into Wednesday morning. An updated release will be issued as new information becomes available. And as stated before, if anyone has any information on the disappearance of Summer Wells, please contact Hawkins County Sheriff's Department and our 1-800-TBA-FIND. Thank you.
Okay, now just 1 second here. Everybody, if you could take the time, hit the like button or the dislike button, but just do something for God's sakes, okay? Thank you.
We'll open it up for a few questions at this time.
Just wondering, has Summer ever wandered off before?
According to family members, it's not common for her to wander off.
Saturday, there was a pretty extensive search into the evening. Can you elaborate on what that tip was and why there was such a large presence for crews to come back out?
Anytime we have information that could potentially lead us to locating Summer, we're going to use all resources. Crews were in the area following up on a lead. Unfortunately, Summer's still missing.
How is the changing weather impacting your search?
Sure, that's a great question. Captain Coop, can you explain?
So the projected forecast here for the next 24 to 48 hours will change our approach. It will not change our aggressive approach. The only thing that this will change, it will change maybe what terrain we approach at this time. Due to the severe thunderstorms, we can't put our teams in danger to turn around and maximize the situation. We are monitoring weather 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with live weather updates. We are also utilizing the National Weather Service, who calls us on a routine basis. If there's any type of weather that's approaching our immediate area, they have been more than helpful with notifying us in a very timely manner to allow us to know to where we can plan on how we're going to approach these areas.
Talking about the weather, is there concern about some of these crews from other areas having to go back to their area to respond to storms there?
Speaking with some of these teams, especially the teams that have been coming out of state, traveling 4+ hours, they also have had to do what we've had to do is utilize as much resources as we can to find Summer Wells, but we still have to be able to cover our areas. So a lot of these people, they're still allowing people to stay back. When these crews from out of town then return, they'll swap out. Those crews will then monitor their areas and send us fresh crews, and we are doing the same thing for our resources here locally.
Do you know when the active search will potentially turn into a recovery mode instead of a potential rescue mode?
Let's elaborate on that.
We will address that at some point, but right now our focus remains on finding Summer. We're using all resources as of today, and we want that to be the focus right now.
This is a question more for maybe Leslie and Sheriff Lawson. You just mentioned that you have used some surveillance video, things that you had asked for earlier in the week. Can you elaborate what you saw in that surveillance video and how that might have helped you?
Well, as you know, and you guys helped us get the word out, we asked residents to let us know if they had surveillance cameras around their home or trail cameras. Residents have reached out. We've reviewed those photos and video, and if we identified a vehicle in the video, we would identify the driver and then speak with the driver to interview them to see if they had any information.
How long, when someone typically goes missing, how long does it take to find? Like, is this exceptionally long?
Every case is different. It's a case-by-case situation.
On day 6 now, for maybe the folks that are out there in the field, how are you keeping, I guess, morale and spirits high? How are, I'm sure folks are tired, they've been out here tirelessly for days on end now. How are you kind of keeping folks engaged and spirits up?
Ultimately, the people that's involved with the search operations, we all have the same outlook. We will not quit until we find Summer Wells. So these guys have spent countless hours, day in, day out, nighttime, the thing that I stress with my guys is if you're getting to the point that you're getting tired, please take a break.
Did you want me to stop it? Oh, I thought I heard your voice or something.
No, I was click-clacking on my keyboard. Sorry about that.
Oh, so big deal.
Get rest, rehab, recover. That way you can come back and continue to go stronger. It is a large family with law enforcement involved. We keep each other's spirits up. It's all a team effort. And to elaborate on it, a lot of times you guys being up here, you start seeing a lot of people leave at the evening time. At the evening time, it is too treacherous and too dangerous unless TBI or Sheriff's Department gets a lead that they need us to go help assist on. Too dangerous for us to keep our guys up in these mountains in this treacherous terrain at nighttime. But I want you guys to know and rest assured, along with the community, that search efforts do not stop when it gets dark. We have been utilizing fixed wing and aerial aviation to literally scan this area from the time it gets dark to the time that we return in the morning.
Yeah. The only problem is if you're looking for a heat signature in this type of a canopy, there's a really good, because this is the right time of year. I mean, this time of year, this is October, so imagine what it looks like in June. Just absolutely lush and full. You're not going to be able to see anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It does not quit. They utilize multiple resources, FLIR, and other things to continually map this area and to continue the search for summer whales.
This is a question more for Sheriff Hawkins, or Lawson, I'm sorry. I know we've talked a lot about there's two different operations going on, Find Summer as well as the investigation. Is there more on the investigation side that you can tell us into anything that you've talked with family members or anyone who last saw her since we last spoke on Friday?
We've interviewed so many people in the community on the road, and we're still jointly working with TBI and the FBI, and everything is really going real well. We cover each other's tracks, go back and re-interview, and like Captain said, and Leslie, we're not going to stop till we find Summer.
How is her family doing? I mean, this is going into day 7. Tomorrow will be day 7 since their child has gone missing and no leads in this massive search operation. How is her family holding up? Have you spoken with her parents? How are they doing?
We've spoken with her parents. I can't speak for them. They spoke with you. They're being cooperative. Of course, they're upset. So we continue to keep them updated and do whatever possible we can to find Summer. And we just ask everyone in the community, especially those of you who have any tidbit of information that you haven't shared, to please come forward. Her family asks that as well.
And last week you also talked a little bit about speculation and social media rumors. Has that continued to get worse over the weekend, and is that continuing to maybe even cause hindrances?
Sure, it's always a battle. We ask residents with credible information to call 1-800-TBI-FIND and submit tips through that avenue. We find that we're receiving a lot of tips that is a screenshot from Facebook. It's an opinion or speculation. That's not a credible tip, and it just bogs down the system, as I've mentioned before. So please only share credible information. Someone's opinion or idea on Facebook is not a credible tip. Did you have a question?
It isn't? What do you mean? I thought that was always... I always thought the Facebook tips were always 100% accurate.
Has the family been ruled out? I know they said that they understood you investigating them and interviewing them. Have they been ruled out at this time, or still looking?
As we've said time and time again, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance are very much under investigation. And at this time, we continue.
You want me to rewind it?
Tiny bit.
Okay.
Someone's opinion or idea on Facebook is not a credible tip. Did you have a question?
I was going to ask.
Okay.
Has the family been ruled out? I know they said that they understood you investigating them and interviewing them. Have they been ruled out at this time, or still looking?
As we've said time and time again, the
Do you want me to play it again?
Someone's opinion or idea on Facebook is not a credible tip. Did you have a question?
I was going to ask.
Okay.
Has the family been ruled out? I know they said that they understood you investigating them and interviewing them. Have they been ruled out at this time, or still looking?
As we've said time and time again, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance are very much under investigation. And at this time, we continue to explore all possibilities. Okay, thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate the continuing coverage. We appreciate the community and all their support. And again, I can't stress enough, anyone with information is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. All right.
One of the things that was a little bit interesting in terms of, getting into this, maybe the psychology of what they're thinking, is when the person asked them how the family's doing, and she didn't come back with this, it's just really devastating for the family. It was more that same kind of measured, you'd almost have to ask them kind of thing. That's odd.
Like, well, they're upset.
Yeah, but that's an odd response, right? Normally, these people, if they really feel like, wow, the kid's going away, wandered off or was abducted, they have a whole different demeanor. I don't know if that's just her personality.
I think they've kept a very steady personality, all of them.
Yeah.
From Coop to her and the sheriff. They all have this very even-keeled answers for every, their tone. I've watched you watch other cops in cases.
Yeah.
And you've watched their reactions, but these guys seem very, here it is. We're not everything's under investigation. We're looking at every angle. We don't know yet. It's just what it is. That's it.
I kind of want to just hear that part again if I can find it.
I can't speak for them. They spoke with you.
That's the spot. There we go.
Yeah, I can't speak for
like
them.
Captain said, and Leslie, we're not going to stop till we find Summer.
How is her family doing? I mean, this is
How's their family doing?
Day 7.
Day 7.
Tomorrow will be day 7 since their child has gone missing and no leads in this massive search.
How's the family doing?
How is her family holding up? Have you spoken with her parents? How are they doing?
We've spoken with her parents. I can't speak for them. They spoke with you. They're being cooperative. Of course, they're upset. So we continue to keep them updated and do whatever possible
she did say they were upset.
we can to find Summer. And we just ask everyone in the community, especially those of you who have any tidbit of information that you haven't shared, to please come forward. Her family asks that as well.
Okay. Well, I guess there's a little bit more in there. She said that they were upset. It's just sort of, it almost like she did that to make up for the fact that right before that she said, well, you'd have to ask them. Well, of course they're, I don't know. It was weird. That was kind of a strange answer. So what are your thoughts on that one? Anything?
I don't know. I think, we know now that Candace and Dawn are not the most articulate people. I don't know how much emotion they were showing to these guys. We saw them in their first interview, which we'll probably do on the next episode. But to me, they seem they're also very monotone people.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go off into left field half of the time. So you're kind of lost as to how they are reacting to anything.
Yeah, it's hard to know how they feel, especially Dawn. Yeah, I mean, sometimes Dawn, I've seen him in other interviews where he cries and stuff, but like you've got Candace, her face almost doesn't even change when she's talking.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know what's going on there.
It is. I agree with you. But going back, it's interesting to hear some of this stuff. So some of the notes I have here, she was last seen outside the home. Is Dawn's criminal history irrelevant? No, it's not. Dawn's first interview, he wants to thank everybody. He talks quite a bit about God. He does mention Summer by name a couple of times. He talks about how much he appreciates all the Christians in the area. He discusses a little bit of the resurrection. And he mentions that when a neighbor came to their driveway, she ran home to the door, so that they were teaching her to be afraid and leery of strange people. Dawn says the door was unlocked. He believes that she went missing between 5:30 and 6. He's not 100% sure. He thinks a bad person grabbed her. He says the sex offenders have been checked out and that there are a lot of people around there looking for drugs, and that law enforcement has tracked down everyone, talked to everyone, and covered all of their bases. Then we know the card team is coming in. The circumstances remain unclear. Residents have been instructed and have helped with cameras, and they've tracked down anybody that they've seen in a car and talked to them. Abduction has not been ruled out, but they do think she possibly just wandered off. And the family hasn't been ruled out, and they're exploring all possibilities.
Yeah, they have like no evidence that she was abducted, is what they say.
No evidence that she was abducted.
Let me ask
They
you
don't
this:
know if
I
she wandered.
wonder if it's called abduction if a family member. I don't think it is. Like if
It is.
If Don,
think about it.
Well, if Don abducted her, is that really abduction? Because it's just him taking his.
Well,
body.
no, because he's back, right? If he abducted her and took off, sure. Because most Amber Alerts are a parent, you know.
Yeah.
Well, not most, but most missing kids are a parent taking their child and running, right?
But I don't think a parent can abduct a child that they have custody of. Like you could have a parent, like if you're divorced and then they're separated, and the other one you don't have custody, and you go and take the other one. That's an abduction. But I don't know if it's considered an abduction if Dawn took her somewhere. So
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. If Dawn, in this case, right, knowing just what we know up through these 4 videos, if Dawn took her and he's coming out here providing false statements, then it's a hell of a lot more than an abduction.
Hold on, let me get this one. We had your
spam.
We had your blank screen guy on here. I got rid of him too.
Yeah, I got him too.
They keep following you around.
They love me so much, allegedly.
Yeah.
Glad you found me. Whatever.
Yeah.
They'll be
So,
okay. Thanks for the engagement there.
any
We appreciate it.
questions in there?
Yeah, let's see. Does anybody have questions in the chat? What do you guys think of the first 4 videos?
Yeah, it's
so
definitely
far?
not. Somebody said, "Well, it's kidnapping." No, it's not kidnapping because it's his own kid and he has custody.
Yeah,
So-
it's your own kid, right?
So it'd be like, I'm not sure. I think that's why they just have no evidence that she was abducted. None. The dogs weren't barking. That might have been something.
Well, Nick, Owen, we know Dawn was at work and that it was confirmed, but we're not there yet, honey. We're in the past, okay? We're in the past. We're not here today on August 13th, right? We're starting from the beginning, everybody fresh eyes, because there's no way that we can all remember every single thing that we've heard in this case.
Right.
You know, so we're just trying to discuss the first 4. I understand, yes, it's been confirmed, he was at work, et cetera, but just from this first interview that Dawn did, how many of you feel like he was off? Like the things that he said were off?
I don't think so.
What he was saying didn't really make sense. He was strange.
I don't. But the resurrection thing doesn't bother me because all he's just saying is he believes in Jesus. That's really what he's
Right.
saying. But he's
He
saying
believes-
he's
yeah,
saying in the
he'll figure
terms
it
that they probably use at his church, right? That's what he's saying. Do you believe in the resurrection? You know, it's probably one of those really hardcore, churches, and he's
Yeah.
out there saying that. He's not saying that. I don't know what's nefarious about that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Nothing.
don't know. No. So some people, yeah, they think he was a little off. He just looks uncomfortable. I don't really think he does. He's just monotone.
There's the blank screen
Aw.
again. Oh,
There
God.
you are. Bye-bye, sweetie. It's good to see you, though.
Yeah. And again, everybody hit that like button. Do I need to play the auctioneer sound to get the likes going? Should I do it?
Sure. Yes, we have 429 likes.
Let's go. Let's go again.
Whatever.
10 down,
Hit the like button, 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 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40, hit the like button, hit the like button, 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 like button,
30, sir. 20,
and the like
you're
button.
out. 20,
Or
30, 30.
if
now
you feel
five.
compelled, hit the dislike button. It's all an engagement. It's really appreciated. Thank you very much. All right. The reason I'm playing these is because I saw Chasing Truth on her show say, Gray's not playing his no damn sound effects on. And I go, well, here we go, because I'm going to play them. Like
See how he's an aggravator? He is. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Gray Hughes will call me on the phone. I'm like, listen, I don't fucking talk on the phone. Like, what part of that don't you understand? And he'll just call anyway. I'm like, can this dude text? No,
Yeah.
he'll call. I'm like, hello, Gray Hughes.
Yeah, you know how long it takes to text a whole conversation? It's like
long time.
Like 9 hours. It's so much easier, right?
I know it's awful, but I'm terrible with it. I'm like, oh, is it annoying, pink butterfly? Aww. We don't care if there's 100 of you blank screen. You can keep on coming right back, buddy. I mean, it just takes like one click of the button, sweetheart. Okay, so some people think Don was a little bit suspect. Not suspect, but he seemed uncomfortable or whatever.
Yeah.
Right now, it's still the beginning. We haven't heard from Candace. Remember what this time was like? All of us were like, oh my God, why isn't the mother speaking up? Like, what is going on? Where's the mother?
Well, one thing to take a maybe look at is that Don and Candace aren't. I bet they've never even seen a camera from a camera crew before in their life. So now you've got Don with the sun beaming in his face and a camera on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he did decently well in the interview, on that interview, given those circumstances. He said what he.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know what you'd come up with on that one as deception or anything like that.
He didn't make me feel uncomfortable there. I didn't feel like that was really weird. What did he just say?
Yeah.
I mean, the resurrection thing, I had to really go back and think about, okay, well, what kind of church is this guy at? What are they teaching over there? And then we found out, he's a different kind of a church, and they do what they do. So here's that.
Yeah.
Grief, trauma, who wouldn't come off as weird? Agreed. And they probably hadn't slept very much at this point, right? And they're probably also very worried. My kid's missing. What's going to happen to my boys now? So there was probably a lot going on at that point. So I don't really feel weird about it. I do understand, though, that law enforcement were very quiet at that point. Just, we don't know. The conditions are suspect. And they are. I mean, but we did learn that their understanding is she was outside of that house.
I wonder if
what
that
do you
was,
think of that?
Well, I wonder if that was because Don said that the door was unlocked to them. I mean, he seemed like he had that story, but I guess
He said it.
I guess we'll
Don
find
said
out.
it.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out later if Candace remembers it that way.
Well, yeah. Didn't he say it when he was talking there with his son? The door was unlocked and she left.
Yeah, but I wonder I think Candace
does say later
Yeah.
with Chris in the interview room that I don't know if this was locked. Now, well, that's a question we're going to have to get to that I need to write down for the future. Did she mean she didn't know that day if it was locked? Because remember, when she was upstairs, she said, the boys are in here, they're locked in, no in, no out.
Yeah.
But when she walked down the stairs, she said, I don't remember if this was locked. I don't know if she was talking about that day or...
Well, I noticed that there's a big problem that Don and maybe even Candace have in communicating. When they're talking about days, they're not... A lot of times they'll say, yeah, that day he was there. They're talking about the day that they're talking about. Like, they're not talking about...
The day they're talking about.
Yeah,
which could be any day in the world.
Right. It doesn't mean it's the day Summer went missing every single time.
Exactly.
It's just...
It's always that day. On that day.
But it's used against them a lot. Because he goes, well, not that day. It was, see, he changed it. Well, who knows? Did he change it, or was it just that he realized that now you're thinking he's talking about the day Summer went missing?
Mm-hmm.
So that happens a lot in his conversations. I've seen that.
For sure, it does.
Let's see, what else we got here?
You think all religions are cults? Is that right? Well, that's very, very, very interesting. Okay. So,
what did that have to do with anything, though?
I don't know, but I'm not really too sure what that has to do with the damn thing.
You know, it's weird that this person spent all that time making these accounts. Like every day, just...
No, there's like 100 people. They just run around and do this in different channels, and it's fun for them. They like it so much.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. What did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy the?
Let's get some feedback here.
I won't do a poll because all the trolls will say they hated it. But hey, look at we even have a poll button already working. That's pretty good.
So funny.
Let's see.
We got time. Yeah, we did get a poll button. That's cute. So I didn't know that we were even going to have that yet.
I will have to set something up. Whoa. Yeah, that just shot by. Yeah, we might have, sometime have a channel membership or something like that. Or we'll figure something out.
At some point, I don't know if it allows us yet to have memberships. I don't think so, because we haven't done anything with monetization or any of that stuff. So
no, that's right.
We got to get to 4,000 watch hours and all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah. So, but that's what's kind of cool on a show like this. If you do 2 hours with 600 and something people watching, I think that's what is that? That's almost half of that right there.
Yeah, it takes forever to build these channels, but hopefully people enjoyed it and they had fun.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I love you went back. Yeah. So when do we think the next one?
Stacey.
As long as I'm healthy. As long as I'm not I don't catch what the people in the house have.
We could try one what's today? Thursday?
Mm-hmm. Maybe
Saturday morning?
Sunday?
Sunday would be good. I could do it. Yeah.
Sunday's probably better for me.
Yeah. I have a show later in the evening.
Today's Friday. It's not Thursday, right?
Oh, is it Friday? See, I never even know what day it is. See, because I don't have weekends. I don't have everything's the same for me. I work from home no matter what. So.
Me too.
Half the time I don't know what day it is. I know what number day it is, but not is it Wednesday?
Well, I had a lot of meetings today, so I knew that today was Friday.
Yeah, so Sunday would be good. Maybe at I was working
Sunday
on
around the same time-ish, or do you do golfing?
Well, I do golf on Saturday. So should I show them what I'm trying to work on the that intro?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I don't think Gray sleeps either.
I get
I'll be on my channel a little bit. I'll explain all about the family and all of that stuff, guys. But everybody's what they are right now.
I think this is it. No, I don't even remember.
I'm just trying to stay outside. I mean, this is the longest I've been in this house. And, I just try and run outside. Get me out of here. I take care of them and then I run outside.
Is it in this one? Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not.
Yeah. So mean, allegedly.
So there's people that don't know the family dynamics or anything like that at this point.
I think they do. They're just asking for an update. I'll update on my own channel, guys. But
now I can't find that thing that I was working on.
Yeah, where did it go? You had it. It was so cute too.
Yeah. Let me just try it one more time.
He's making this little animation thing. But he doesn't know where to put it. There it is. Do it. Make it do the thing.
There we go. Doesn't have any audio, but
cute.
So mean. Allegedly.
Aww.
Oh, come on. That's pretty sweet, right?
So cute.
Yeah.
Right? I thought that was wicked cute. Anyways, whatever. Can everyone say an extra prayer for Candace today? She's struggling extra hard. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well,
if they can cover Monkey's case.
I guess that.
Yeah, we're going to cover a bunch of different things, but it's all just going to be going by the news, the people directly involved, all of that.
It would have been interesting if we were doing this when there was this case in Ohio from 1940 something that we did. It was a 3-dayer. It was so much stuff going on. This lady killed and this girl that was her and her friend moved to the town, and there's just so many details in the papers. That's what's so incredible about the newspapers back then. They had everything. The detectives didn't hide anything from anybody. They could walk. They could walk on the crime scene.
2021, where everything's hidden and you get these cryptic, weird ass answers that don't even make sense.
Yeah, and that's where you rely on the tips from Facebook. Yeah, just kidding. All right.
All right, it's been wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun. So I guess we'll cover. There's a couple more. Maybe we can do. There's 2 more press conference deals, I think, and then maybe we can do that. The interview with Candace and Don outside at some point. I think that's pretty early on, right?
Yeah.
And there's a full version of it that I've seen, but there's also clips that are taken from it that aren't in the full version. It's really weird.
There's either a 12-minute or an 18-minute clip, but I'll find the long version one.
Okay, yeah.
We can go over that.
Because there's the one time when she refers to the swing that's different than the time that you see it on the long version. There's this thing where she says the swing and went.
No, she did that face when she was trying to remember where the Walgreens was.
No, there was a face no, that's what I'm saying. There was a clip that I played on my channel at some point when she first mentioned the swing, and she had a look of almost like she wasn't supposed to say that or something. It was weird. It was totally different than the one that shows up later in the same clip. I don't know. This was like a month ago, so maybe my brain's still, but I remember going over it. We'll have to go back and try to find that one.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that's what maybe
whatever we can find, we should look at for sure.
Yeah, but it's all going to be stuff that family members, law enforcement,
not Hunter.
Yeah, not Hunter. The only thing that Hunter said that I think might have some validity, even though you might disagree, is that the part about he said other stuff that's probably happened, but a lot of the stuff he said is BS. But the part about when he was in interrogation or being questioned, they told him that they couldn't verify all of Don's alibi.
That Don was at work that day.
Yeah, the whole day. So the thing is, I think that I don't think he would just make that up. It seems like a random thing to make up. And it just feels like that might be a truthful statement that they told him to get him to say, add a little bit more to it, to the story. I don't know why. But why would he make that up?
And maybe we add that in.
And he would know. Maybe just that part. I don't think the rest I don't know. I guess what we have to do is, why do we don't really even need to debunk him at certain spots. We don't even have to add that in. I just threw that in there as a conversation piece at the end.
Yeah, because as, another part of this is his coworkers and his boss have confirmed that he was there.
Yeah, but I'd like to know, did they see him the whole day? Like, I get it that they saw him throughout the day, but
you work in construction.
Right.
If you work in houses in a subdivision and I'm on one house and you're in the other house, I'm not looking through, hey, is Don Wells still here? Shit, where'd he go?
You don't have a tether on each other, right?
No, you're off doing your own thing. You're trying to sneak away to get a cigarette. You got to go call your wife and look at Facebook, of course.
Maybe there's like a 2-hour window, though, that's not accounted for. See, here's the thing, everybody. Here's what it's going to come down to. The ping information on his phone or any data that's in his car, the new car that he took. So that new car, man, it's going to have all kinds of shit going on. Now that we realize from the Morphew case that you can just open a car door and it tells you your birth date, your
everything,
your DNA code. I mean, it's all.
I know. I told my sister that today. She was like, "What? It can do what?" I was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, you don't want to open a.
When you back up, it knows when you open the door. It knows everything.
In fact, everybody, I'd start climbing out your sunroof if you don't want somebody. Although I wonder if that's on there too.
It probably has a sensor, and then the sunroof opened.
Oh, the sunroof opened for 30 seconds, and then we felt there was footprints on top of the car because we got sensors up there too, and it was really weird.
Or you don't know, there's a light pole watching you somewhere, standing on your car roof with a body on your shoulder, trying to jump off and get the hell on down the road. So I don't know. You can't commit crimes anymore. There's too many things watching us, and sensors and stuff.
Yeah.
My dog is trying to get food. Here you go.
Okay, so we don't have like a a cool outro or anything like that at this point. Things are still being built, but really isn't the most important part the show and the quality of it, you guys?
I would agree with that.
It's during the show, but we'll still build that stuff, for the people who, where was the outro? Good.
Are your people used to that?
Oh my God. Well, I'm just saying there's somebody complaining about everything. Every single day.
I don't care about that. I don't have a complaints department.
Yeah.
So
I just like making fun of them from time to time. Well, every day, but.
Yeah, that's what you do every day.
Yeah.
And you rap? Who, me? No, I think you're talking to Gray.
But we should do one together, right? Well,
oh yeah, hi, that's not happening. Great.
Oh man, we're gonna get you out of your shell that you don't.
Oh yeah,
that you're not in. Yeah, no, you're not in a shell. This is going to
be a very professional channel.
Yeah.
Where I'm not calling people bad words, and being just my out of control self. I'm trying to move up in the world.
We do have humor from time to time, but it's never related to the actual case.
Not vulgar humor.
Yeah, right.
Like on my channel. Sheesh.
Oh yeah, that's so. I remember just cringing. What are you talking about? Yeah, look at you cuss
some people are like, oh, how do you love Jesus with that mouth?
It gives me something to be forgiven for on a daily basis. Okay.
That's true.
See, if he didn't have that, it would suck, right? Okay.
Yeah, Jesus wouldn't even pay attention to me. He'd be like, "Oh my God, she's so perfect. What can we do?" So, there you go.
Well, hey, thanks everybody for showing up for our first show. We'll see you on Sunday, and we'll probably do this. We don't know what our schedule on when we'll be doing this, but
we're gonna try and figure one out, though.
Yeah, we'll figure one out at some point. But thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Chasing Truth. Although I'd more rather say your real name, but
yeah, please don't say my real name. It's nobody's business.
People type it in the chat all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody left me a comment. So what's your real name? I'm like, Chasing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get rid of the word allegedly though, because it does end in an ly. That means you're telling the truth.
That means it's a lie. This whole stream was a lie.
Let's see. Allegedly, it means like possible. So now it's not possible. Or something like that, right? Like
it's not possible.
Or allegedly mean it's not. Well, allegedly doesn't.
What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, it doesn't mean possible. I think it means like
it could have happened.
Yeah, like
allegedly.
Allegedly. So now it means it could not have happened.
Oh my God.
What if we say allegedly Lee? Does that reverse the?
I think it does. I think the ending Lee cancels out the first one, doesn't it?
It should. So it's a lie. There you go. Okay, cool. All right.
You're mad.
All right. We'll see you later. Have a good one.
Bye,
I'm just gonna hit the stop.